What's up, everyone? Bob's Blu-rays here, and today I'll be doing a little update on my channel, some changes to come, so stay tuned and I'll get right into it after this intro. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and dive into some different things. Let's start off with where I was for a week and why I took a week off of Instagram. To anybody that was wondering or cares, I just needed to take some time to myself. I think it's very important to be able to escape sometimes and just kind of shut down social media every once in a while. So I decided to focus on myself, take a look in the mirror, figure out if I'm happy with who I am, things like that. I know this is maybe a little bit different of a video I'm putting out, but hey, you know what? This is my channel. This is who I am. What you see with me is exactly what you get. I'm not fake. I'm not ever going to claim to be somebody I'm not. This is who I am. And like I said, it's what you see is what you get. So I'm always going to be straight up and I'm going to say what's on my mind. So yeah, I just decided to take some time off. I felt like I needed to figure out what makes me happy in life and who I want to be. I did that video that I put out talking about more than movies, and the topic was figuring out who you are and where you want to be in life and stuff like that. And I challenged myself to kind of look in the mirror and figure that out for myself. So I just wanted to take some time to myself, focus on work and things like that. And something I realized by taking some time off was how much time I spend wasting, just wasting time on Instagram and social media in general. So it was a really nice kind of cleanse, so to speak. And I think I'll take every couple months or so, I'll try and do that as well. I was still watching content creators on YouTube. I just needed to get away from social media for a bit. So I decided to focus a lot more on work. I set some goals. I figured out where and who I want to be and what would make me happy, because I feel like sometimes I just go through the motions and I'm not always happy. What you see on YouTube, people behind the cameras, you know, it's very easy to look at content creators and other people that you watch and love and think, oh, they got it all together or something like that, or they're super happy, or people are getting massive hauls and you think, oh, this person's got all the money in the world. Like, you don't know what's going on in that person's life. If they're doing a ton of pay in fours, if they're in credit card debt, whatever it could be, right? And for me, I just don't ever want to get caught up in trying to be something I'm not. I think FOMO is a big problem for a lot of people, including myself at times. And I never want to feel like I'm just trying to keep up with the Joneses. So it felt good to take some time off, get away from that, not worry about movies or anything like that. But I wanted to make some changes. I decided to set some goals. I looked at my schedule and I want to have more structure. I want to be more balanced, more organized, know when I'm going to put something out, things like that. Look, at the end of the day, I like live streaming. It's something that I enjoy doing. It makes me happy. But I never want to sit backstage for all night. I remember when I did the Mid-Levolution stream, and that was a 6-hour stream. I hung out backstage for a bit, and then I went to work. I trained a client with 0 hours of sleep. So I went and I trained my client that morning, and I did not sleep. So things like that, I have not been sleeping. I know Tony doesn't sleep a ton either. So I wanted to focus on trying to get more sleep and things like that. Being sleep deprived is never good. And so I decided to set some kind of schedules for myself, and I looked at my own schedule and what I want my life to look like and things like that. So I know I'm all over the place with this video. It is what it is. It's who I am. But I wanted to make some changes and talk about them. So the first thing is, I know I didn't put out a video this Monday of More Than Movies, getting to know me more than movies. I want to do that every other Monday moving forward. So I think I'm going to try and do it twice a month. It gives me an opportunity to think more about the 3 movies that I want to add into those videos. It's something that I really enjoy doing. I don't like to put out too much content. I feel like nobody wants to see me that often anyways. Obviously, I try not to worry about views. You know, it's impossible not to see how many videos or how many views your videos get, things like that. It is what it is. I always tell people, don't worry so much about that. Just put out the content you like putting out and people will watch it. You know, you're going to have your faithful viewers. They're going to watch all of your videos no matter what you put out. And I try to just focus on doing the things that I enjoy doing and doing it for the people that enjoy watching, and not worry about the views and other things like that. I never wanted to make YouTube or Instagram feel like my life, and I felt like at times I begin to make it more than it should be. And I never want YouTube to feel like a job. It's not a career. I don't want it to feel like that. I love what I do in my own line of work in my career, and I don't want YouTube to feel like that. YouTube should be a fun escape. It should be something I enjoy doing and creating content and things like that, and I don't want it to feel like a job. So that's me personally. Everybody's different. Some people love putting out content every day, and they're really good at it, and that's okay. And I try to watch as much of their content as possible. But for me, it's hard for me to put out content all the time, every day. I try to be consistent with it as much as possible. And that's why I wanted to go ahead, set some goals for myself and set aside some time to think about what I want my channel to look like, who I want to be, and things like that. So that's what this was about. That's what this time off was about. I felt like I don't spend enough time with my dad. I see him. I hadn't talked to him for a couple weeks. Now, once again, everybody's different, right? Nobody lives the same life, things like that. You can't understand what somebody else is going through. Don't ever try to. Be yourself. Focus on yourself, you know, things like that. And if you feel like you need to take some time off to yourself, do it. And I felt like I needed to. And so I reached out to my dad, asked him if I could take him to lunch soon. Trying to be, you know, more connecting with my mom, things like that. So that's something I just wanted to work on in my own life, and I felt like I wasn't doing a good enough job doing that. I didn't feel like I was being a very good friend to my friends out here. I was spending so much time wrapped up in Instagram and YouTube, and that's great, and I love the people in this community, but I never want to get so wrapped up that I forget about my own life. So, with that being said, I am totally rambling, but that's what I do. So, first things first, yes, every other Monday I want to put out a more than movies. So getting to know me more than movies. I'm going to pick different topics. I think I'll talk about time very soon because I want to talk about that. I'll talk about other topics. Some of them will be very personal. Some of them might be happier topics. Some of them might be very dark, very emotional, different things like that. So that's exactly what I want to do. So I'll do that. I've also got some collection updates that I want to do. So I'm going to try and do those every Wednesday, and every Sunday drop a collection update. I've got all of my boutique labels behind me. That's the stuff that I'll be talking about moving forward. There's probably like around 30 or 35 more labels and different things like that. I've gone through all of my studio steelbooks, slipcovers, non-slip covers, digibooks, collection, like box sets, all that stuff. Now it's on to boutique labels. And then after I'm done with that, I'll be done with my collection and going through it. It's not something I necessarily love doing. It's a pain in the ass taking these off of the shelf and then putting them back on the shelf and stuff like that. It's not something that I necessarily love doing, but I do it because I know people enjoy seeing what I have in my collection, and I want to show you guys exactly what I have in my collection. So I do enjoy talking about the movies. Just the work of putting them in and then editing it, not the funnest, but that's okay. As long as you guys enjoy it, that's what's important to me. Next thing up, I am going to continue to try and put out 3 movie recommendations, probably once a month. I'm just going to try and do that once a month, find 3 underrated movies that I feel like don't get talked about enough that I could recommend to people and talk about the movies without giving spoilers away. And then the other thing is going to be how many copies do I own. I'm going to try and pick 1 movie a month to go over that as well. So that's going to be some pre-recorded content that I want to put out. I'll also put out random videos such as stuff like this. Could be Blu-ray hunting trips, different things like that, just hauls I get. Anything. Could be anything, right? Movie reviews. I'll try and put out stuff like that just randomly at times, but I'll definitely have a video every other Monday and then every Wednesday and Sunday for a collection update moving forward. And then moving on to live streams. So, I tried to work with other people in the community as much as I can, trying not to overlap with streaming schedules. It happens. You as a host have to do what's best for yourself and what's best for your panel and your guests. That's just the way it goes. That's priority. That takes precedence, right? If you can only do a certain time and a date, that's when you can do it, and that's when you're going to do it. For me, I try to be flexible and I try to work with other people. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work out. So for me moving forward, look, I pay for StreamYard as a lot of other content creators do who host live streams. So the way I see it, if I'm paying for something, a service, I want to get my money's worth, right? So I enjoy hosting larger panels. I enjoy doing the tournaments. People seem to enjoy them, hopefully. I love live streaming. I love interacting with the chat. To me, if I'm going to go live, I'm definitely going to interact with the chat. I'm going to try and get them involved as much as possible, and I'm going to make sure to read the chat, because otherwise, why go live if I'm not going to do that? And the reason I love going live so much is because I love interacting with people. I love just kind of hanging out with different people. I love seeing what the chat has to say, and I just think it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to try and host a good amount of live streams. I'll talk about that in just a second here. But I figured if I start setting up some dates and being on a consistent schedule, that could help me and other people kind of understand what days I'll go live, so nobody else feels like I'm overlapping with somebody. I never want to feel like that, but I also got to do what I feel is best for myself as far as my schedule goes. I'm trying to put in 12 hours a day working, 12 to 14 hours, and then I'm trying to train and get back into things that make me happy that I kind of lost sight of for a while. So I've been putting a lot more work into that. And so it doesn't leave me with a lot of time, already not sleeping a lot. So I just got to stream the days that work for me, put out content that works for me, and I felt like making a schedule has hopefully helped with that. So let's say I'm going to start with my Hall of Fame stream. It's something that I love doing. I love putting the work into it. I love having different guests on and surprises. That's the biggest thing. I just hope to kind of keep people on their toes, and hopefully people will always be like, hey, you never know what he's going to do on his Hall of Fame stream. So much like Ken does a roundtable every Tuesday, the first Tuesday of every month. I know Dell usually does his streams on Tuesdays. Sue, she goes live every Wednesday. KB usually at 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. I try and think about these things, right? So the people that I follow, I subscribe to, I support, I watch, I think about, okay, who goes live these days? So I try and avoid overlapping with them. Once again, it happens. Sometimes you can't avoid that. It happens. But if I can avoid it, I will. So I decided I want to do the Hall of Fame stream the final Wednesday of every single month. So this month in June, I believe it's like June 28th or something like that, I'm going to have Sue from Movies and Sue on as my next guest for the Hall of Fame stream. And then on July 26th, which is the final Wednesday in July, I'm going to have Dave from Rants Cinema as my next guest after Sue. So Sue and Dave in back-to-back months. I'm super excited about that. So that will be June 28th, I believe, and July 26th for the next two Hall of Fame guests. I just figured sticking with like the final Wednesday of every month will hopefully be easier. Probably 9:15 p.m. Eastern time every single time. Regardless if there's 20 other streams, that's just what I'm going to do. It's what works best for me, and I just think that'll help myself a lot. Next up, we have got my tournaments that I've been doing lately. It's something that I enjoy doing. I have fun with it. The guests seem to have fun usually, the panel. Once again, if I'm paying for StreamYard, the way StreamYard works is you have to pay for it if you want to have over 6 or more guests. And so I like doing large tournaments. I think it's fun getting large panels. And if I'm paying for it, why not use it and take advantage of it, right? And the way I see it, if you don't like my channel, you don't have to watch. You don't have to subscribe, things like that. I don't beg for somebody to subscribe. I don't beg for people to watch. You know what I mean? I love it when people watch. It's fun seeing you in the chat, things like that. I trust me, I love it. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for the people that watch. But if you don't want to watch, there are other channels to watch as well. And sometimes people go live at the same time. And I'm not, forcing people to watch me. I like to go live because it's something I enjoy doing and I'm paying for StreamYard, so why not use it? But I'm going to try and host a tournament every month for the next couple months moving forward. This month I'm doing a VHS tournament June 13th, June 20th, and June 27th. So that'll be fun. The final round will be June 27th. And then the next day will be the Hall of Fame stream. Then in July, I'm going to get back to doing another Steelbooks and Slipcovers tournament. And then in August, the way I see it is I'll do the finals where it's going to be 2 teams of 4. So it'll be the Steelbooks and Slipcovers tournament again. 2 teams of 4 is the final match there, and that'll be in August. And then I'll figure out some more tournaments that I have moving forward. I have a couple different ideas, but it's always a matter of trying to be creative, make it fun, be different, things like that. That's something I always want to do. Moving on after that, I'd like to try and do one. I haven't done one in the last 5 or 6 weeks or so, 4 or 5 or 6 weeks, but I'd like to do once a month, do a remembering stream where I remember an actor or actress that has passed away, or a director or anything like that. I haven't done one in a while. I know we've wanted to do Anton Yelchin, Heath Ledger's another one that's come up. Also Audrey Hepburn, of course, I'm hoping to get around to as well. I've got a panel lined up for that, hopefully in June or July. And then I'd also like to get around to doing another What It Means to Us, maybe once a month if I can. I enjoy doing that because I enjoy talking about movies, right? I was having a conversation with Fish, a really good conversation today about happiness and things that make you happy, and just different communities and things like that. And I had talked about how I used to do a lot of races, like I used to compete, and it's something that brought a lot of happiness to me. So in 2021, I ran like 29 races, and I traveled a lot for some of these races, like 4 or 5 times I ended up traveling. I went to Minnesota a couple times. I would be able to reach out to and meet so many different collectors if I got back into that, because I enjoy traveling. It's something that makes me happy. But I also enjoy collecting movies and watching movies and talking about movies and doing this YouTube stuff and everything like that. So I took that time off recently to figure out how I could find that balance and be able to find that happiness again. And it's something that used to make me very happy, and I haven't done it in a while, so I've been trying to get back into that and seeing if I could figure out a balance between the two, because if I could figure out those 2 things together that make me extremely happy, then I feel like I would be happier than I ever have been. So just trying to find that happiness again, and I think I'm at a good place where I'm starting. And I was having that conversation with Fish about different communities and how I have a great support system, or I had when I raced, and I have a great support system in this community and people that I enjoy talking with, and what it means to us discussing movies and how much I enjoy talking about different movies and why they mean something to us. And I think that's fun. So I want to get back to doing that, hopefully once a month. Possibly do a solo stream once a month. I don't know for sure. Either I'll combine that with like a hangout, just another one of those where I did it kind of on a whim. I got together with like 8 or 9 other people, and we just kind of hung out. And I think that's a lot of fun. I think it is fun to engage the chat. It allows them to hang out, and then it allows your panel to just kind of hang out, and you could discuss anything that comes up. You could discuss life. It could be something fun. You could laugh. You could be serious, different things like that. So I'm going to try and do one of those or both once a month, hopefully. And then, so that's about 7 or 8 streams a month. I figure I'll probably be live every Tuesday and Wednesday. That's just how I like it. Tuesdays work best for me. It's the only day I really take off from work. I still work today. Today was Tuesday when I'm recording this, but so sometimes 7 days a week, but I enjoy taking Tuesdays as my one day off, and that works best for me. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays in the evening to stream. So sometimes maybe a Monday, and then usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I don't stream. I try to watch content creators as much as possible. I love supporting smaller channels because I had to start out somewhere once. I was under 100 subscribers too, so I love watching these channels grow, like What's Johnny Watching, Film Addiction, and Movies with James. They're smaller channels right now, but hopefully we could see them grow. You know, Adam the Movie Hunter, he was around under 100 subscribers for forever, and now he's, I think, at 450. Fish has grown. Nick of Movie AV Impulse is growing. So it's just great to see these channels growing, because I know how frustrating and how tough it could be to watch your channel grow. So it's really cool to see these channels grow, and I hope they continue to. I want to continue to support content creators as much as possible. Luckily for me, I do drive around quite a bit in the afternoon, so it gives me an opportunity to watch a lot of content creators. And one last thing that I'm hoping to do moving forward is going to be a new stream, a new series that I want to start. I don't know if I would call it a series, but for the last like 5 years or so, I've had friends make me movie watch lists, is what I call it. I put them on Letterboxd, usually 24 movies or so, something like that. I've had a friend make like 5 different watch lists for me. And sometimes I experience movies that I've never heard of that I end up falling in love with, right? So I've had like 6 different people recently, 7 or 8 maybe, that have made me watch list. I've narrowed it and trimmed it down to 10. I've asked them to take 10 different movies and recommend 10 different movies that they want me to see. And I was going to do a video where I just talk about it, things like that. And then I asked them, I was like, well, what would you guys think of going live? And I'll rank the 10 movies. So I'll be like, okay, this is number 10. I'll give it a star, basically a rating, and we'll talk about the movie, spoiler free. And it'll give my guest, the person who recommended the movies, the opportunity to kind of live react to how I thought about the movies and why this is number 10. Maybe something will be number 10 that somebody would have number 1. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. I know Dell on Movies does something similar in his movie swap. Like I said, I did reach out to Dell already. This isn't something that I had said, oh, Dell does something, let me do something very similar. This was something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Unfortunately, I just never got around to it. It's hard to watch 10 different movies that people recommend for me, but it's something I really wanted to focus on and try and do once a month moving forward. I've already started to watch a lot of the movies, and now it's just a matter of finishing the list and then trying to put together a stream. So that is another thing that I'm hoping to get around to. I think it would be a lot of fun. And I think it would be fun to do live with the guests that put the watch list together and let them kind of rank their movies, and then we could just discuss it and have a discussion, and then the chat could get involved. I think it would be a lot of fun. I really like what Dell does with his movie swap, and I just wanted to do something different. And like I said, wanted to do it in a video, but I thought a live stream would be a lot more fun with it. So hopefully I can do that moving forward, maybe at the end of this month or starting in July. But I also want to talk about something new that is coming up. So KB, Sue, and myself, we do this thing called Must See YT. Anyways, KB goes live at 7 p.m. Eastern, usually Sue at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I do at 9:15 Eastern. Well, today, Wednesday, we're going to be doing a live stream together, the 3 of us. So it'll be very exciting, and I think we're going to try and do that maybe once a month or once every other month. I think KB and I will switch channels that it will be on. Today, it will be on KB's channel. KB loves movies, so go check it out. The 3 of us will just kind of be hanging out, doing an extended Q&A. And then, of course, Mid-Levolution. I'm pretty sure the 3 of us, me, Tony, and Ken, will go live once a month. It'll be on Ken's channel in June, Tony's in July, and then probably mine in August, I would assume. So that'll happen on my channel once every 3 months. If people ask me to be a guest, I'd gladly be a guest if I can on people's channels. So yeah, different things like that. That's kind of the changes I got coming up. I just wanted to be more structured, a little bit more organized, have a plan in place, let people know, hey, if you don't see me creating as much content, I never want to put out, I've said this before and I'll say it again, I never want to put out content if I don't have something to say. I don't want to just stand there and throw crap up against the wall and hope it sticks. It's not who I am. People post every day and they do such a good job of it. Sue, Derek from Pure Hangout, Ken from Mid-Level Media, and Tony. He does unboxings every day, but they're really good at it. They put out content that has a point to it, and I don't want to just put something out, though, myself that I don't have something to say. So, but they do, and they do a good job of it. They always have something to say, and their content's good, and it's consistent, and people watch it. So I just wanted to get on here, talk a little bit. I know I rambled, stuttered, different things like that. It is what it is. It's who I am. But look, this is my channel. I don't want to just be movies. That's why I created a segment called More Than Movies, right? I don't want, when people see me, I don't want that. That's not all who I am, right? Like, I have a life outside of YouTube and Instagram and the movies in general, and I want people to, have an opportunity to get to know me. I had a conversation with Tim as well today about happiness and if he's a part of any other communities and what he does outside of movies that makes him happy. Tim likes to collect vinyl, and one sheets and things like that, posters, books. He's a big fan of different things like that. So movies aren't just the only thing that make him happy. It's not who he is. You know what I mean? It's not the only part of who he is. So I think a lot of other people have a lot of other things that make them happy, and maybe they don't feel as inclined to talk about it. I'm okay with it. I'm okay talking about other things. If you don't enjoy my channel because I'm talking about other things than just movies, then that's okay. I apologize. But I never want to just be one-sided and just movies. Different things make me happy, and to be honest with you, I felt like the last couple weeks or months, I've kind of lost a little bit of a part of myself, and I haven't ran a race since 2022. I had gotten my ass kicked 2 years in a row running that race. I had failed to keep this vest that you run with. And so 2 years in a row I failed it. And the race came up this year just recently, and I did not sign up and run the race. And it kind of hit me. It was pretty emotional for me because I'm so used to it. And so I really want to focus on training and getting back there next year and running it and competing and actually finishing for once with the vest. So that's just a part of, things like that, just creating goals and setting up dreams for myself and working towards those and accomplishing them. I want to get back to finding that happiness. What brings me joy puts a smile on my face. So when I go live, I'm happy, and what you see with me is what you get. You know what I mean? I never want to be fake. I never want to put on a mask in a stream or just go through the motions. It's not who I am. It's not what I want to do. If I don't have something to say or I'm not in the mood, I just don't want to go live. I want to give the best I have in everything I do. So if that's putting out content on YouTube, I want to give everything to that moment. Like being in front of the camera, I want to make sure I'm focused on that moment. If I'm working, I want to focus on work. If I'm focusing on a client, I want to be in that moment with my client. I want to give my clients the best that I can in that hour that they have with me. So different things like that. If I'm in a stream, I want to give that 2.5 hours that I'm streaming the best I can to my panel and to the people watching. So anyways, video went on longer than I thought it would. Thanks to everybody supporting. Thanks to anybody who's still watching. I don't expect people to watch me just talk for 25 minutes. I appreciate the people that do. Trust me, it doesn't go unnoticed. One last thing I wanted to say is, if you're still watching, you're the reason I came back to Instagram. At times I just don't feel a place there or something, not even that. Sometimes it was really nice to take time off, and I didn't feel like I needed it. It felt really good. The only reason I come back to Instagram and I continue to go on Instagram is because of the people on there. People like you that are watching right now. My friendships and the family that I've made on there. Other than that, I feel like I waste time on there, whether it's watching reels or whatever it might be. So I enjoy doing it because of the people on there, the friends I made, the family. It helps with YouTube, things like that, setting up streams, getting to know people. But other than that, I just keep doing YouTube and Instagram because you're watching. If people didn't watch, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't sit in front of a camera just to do it, right? I do it because people watch and because of your comments. If I didn't get comments and people weren't saying the things that they said, I wouldn't be watching. Some of those things, some of the comments that I read almost bring tears to my eyes, okay? Because they just mean so much. Some of the things that some of you say are just so thoughtful and kind and caring and considerate. And I want you to know that it means more than you probably understand those words you type. So I appreciate it. I do, genuinely, because that's what keeps me going. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions for me, let me know. Reach out on Instagram. Like I said, I try to get back to people as much as possible. I'm probably not going to be on as much anymore. I do want to take some more time to myself, things like that. I really enjoyed the week off I took from Instagram. I felt like I got a lot done. I was very productive. And yeah, but if you have any questions, you ever want to talk, let me know. And I'll see everyone on the next one. And hopefully I'll see everyone tonight on KB Loves Movies stream. Have a good one.